So this is for both of you. This is your first foray into My Hero. So it is tell me a little bit, before we talk about the movie, like what it was like, jumping into what is a pretty big franchise at the moment.
Crazy
Ryan?
exciting.
Yeah.
Great, like just beyond exciting. I've always dreamt of being a part of this without ever expecting to be. So when it actually happened, I mean, easily, this is like, for me, the biggest dream I've gotten to experience in my work so far. So especially on this scale, I've always, I love movies. So getting to be a part of a movie like this is, my heart is very full.
Oh, very cool, man. Yeah, I mean, Ryan and I were talking earlier. We're both fans of the show. We both watch it. That's always a special experience. We're based in LA, so for me, pre-COVID, that I sort of wrote off some of the stuff at Funimation just because I didn't have any connection there and all of that, and wrote off in the sense that I didn't think I'd get a chance to be a part of it. So COVID is a horrible, terrible thing, but it has opened doors for some people in terms of remote recording and being able to widen the net for casting a little bit. So to be put in this series, which I've been a fan of for years, and to get to jumping into a self-contained movie is amazing.
That's awesome to hear for both of you, definitely. Robbie, I'll go to you really quick. So I mean, your character, Flect, he's pretty messed up, but you got to you gotta love those ideological characters, Flect especially, since he truly believes in his cause to the point where he views himself as basically tainted. Like what's your take on him?
Yeah, I mean, hurt people, right? You could say that he's an ideologue, but I wonder if that's true. I've never thought about it in that sense. I'm not sure I believe in ideology as a standalone ideology. I think that people are more emotional than that, and I think that they use ideology to justify their own personal wants and desires. How about them apples?
I'm with you with those apples.
I think it's a little more lizard brain than that. And then you give those thoughts and feelings to a smart person, and they're able to turn them into something either beautiful
or an eloquent person.
Yeah, or an eloquent person, turn them into something beautiful or malicious. For the good people, they funnel it into charity and good things and public works and things that help them. And then for bad people, like this imaginary person Flect, they try to commit a mass genocide. It's horrible. So I think if you play him still as a person, that's how you get away from the I'm the bad guy out to kill the world, and just play him as a dude.
Yeah, and that actually kind of leads into my next question too. I mean, because it's sad how he has a sad backstory. Everyone he cared for, rejected him on a personal level. Even though it's because of his quirk in the real world, that's something that unfortunately a lot of people deal with. Sure. So I mean, with that, in fact, can you expand on that? I mean, you're talking a lot about how it's more than being an ideologue, if I can speak. But yeah.
Yeah, no, yeah, of course. I mean, that's the truth, right? And it usually belies what's presented to the world. So when you, and I don't want to give too much away for the people that have yet to see it, but when you start to get into the nuts and bolts of what makes Flect tick and why he does the things he does, hopefully you'll feel a little bit of sympathy/empathy, but maybe not too much, because you still have to reconcile with his actions. So it's interesting. The good thing is that things we're talking about are complicated, which make for a good villain instead of a bad one. That's why the writing on My Hero is dope. Yeah,
no, definitely. I completely agree with you. Now over to Ryan. So your character, goes through a lot. Also, what many people deal with. He feels like he's stuck in a situation. He has no other choice, taking shady jobs. But then Midoriya opens his eyes. So what's it like playing such a multifaceted character?
Oh man, it's an absolute gift. As actors in general, that's all we want is to experience a full spectrum of a character, because that's what we experience in life. We don't get to just be one thing, and we don't get to just experience one emotion. And to get to go on a journey like this with Rody was something I didn't know that I would get to do, honestly, ever, because I the work I get to do normally is, I show up in things and I get to have my fun, but something this close to my heart on a character level, especially in a show that I love so dearly, and the character is not necessarily one that you've seen before. It felt so special to be able to experience that, and it's very personal for me in a beautiful way.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, well said. And even though, the cave scene with Midoriya was probably my favorite moment with Brody. I mean, I also really enjoyed, your portrayal of him near the beginning because, how he messes with Midoriya, he acts sly and arrogant. In the same vein, it must be fulfilling to play such a dynamic character.
Oh, my God, yeah.
Like, what's your favorite side of Rody? Like, is it the sly one or the how he turns out in the end?
Well, I mean, to avoid spoilers, obviously, I think he's just got such a full spectrum, and he's so, no matter what, he's so playful and vibrant. I think regardless of what emotion he's kind of showing, he really is such a big kind of personality while still being so real and grounded. And I think people are going to really, really enjoy how kind of expressive he can be.
Yeah, definitely. And it seems like we have to wrap this up. So I'll just say really quickly, I mean, I know you guys are a fan of the show, but do you guys read ahead in the manga, or is it you guys stick with where you're at?
I haven't yet.
Yeah, I'm staying away from manga intentionally. Yeah.
I don't like to spoil myself. Yeah, I've been a fan of the show for so long that it's how I'm used to taking in the content that I.
Same. I started on the show and then read some of the manga, and now I'm like, nah, I don't want to be ahead. Sometimes I get ahead on other shows, but this one I'll stick with the show.
Thank you very much, guys. This was great.
Thank you,
so
Steven.
much.
You were great. Appreciate it.